Hello one and all, this is Soulful Lordy, James Bullock, once again with another video game first impressions. This time around, Crackdown 3 for the Xbox One and PC. Some 4 years after the announcement of Crackdown 3, we finally get the Microsoft exclusive game that promised to be everything that Crackdown 1 was, but better. Bigger, badder, more explosive. Featuring cover boy, the incomparable Terry Crews. The player takes control of either Crews's character or a host of others to take back the city of New Providence that is controlled by the mysterious organization known as Terra Nova. An organization that has enslaved the townspeople and made them work for their own benefit, be it at chemical plants or at the mines or even in some random laboratories. The gameplay is Crackdown through and through. The simplistic gameplay of running around, utilizing a variety of weapons to shoot and blow up a variety of enemies, be it robots or humans. One of the best and most interesting aspects about the gameplay is the way the character levels up. As an agent, like I said, as Terry Crews' character or someone else, the player is rewarded for how they kill enemies. So say if you shoot an enemy, you will get firearms points that will help you level up and earn more abilities connected to shooting. Now if you're a melee fighter, you'll get more points that will power your character up as a fighter, explosives, driving, what have you. Even better is the fact that if you mix and match these ways of killing, say if you shoot an enemy and then, as I've done in the past, run up while I'm reloading and punch the person to death or the robot to death, you will get both firearm and melee points. So it rewards the player for playing a variety of ways and unlocks various abilities and items as you progress. Then there's stuff like the orbs that are scattered throughout the city, specifically the agility orbs that allows for double jumps and even jetpack thrust. So it is very beneficial that you try to collect a lot of agility orbs. Anytime you see them, try to collect them because it will definitely help you. Unfortunately, Crackdown 3 plays like Crackdown 1. And by that I mean it plays like a game that came out in 2007. The overall structure, not only from the narrative but also the gameplay perspective, feels like a game that came out late in the PS2 era, early in the Xbox 360, PS3 era. For gamers who've experienced, say, the past Crackdown games, or Red Faction Guerrilla, or even the recent Just Cause games, Crackdown 3 feels like a game that is woefully outdated. There's definitely a feeling of high repetition where you just go to this area, blow stuff up, or shoot specific enemies, and do enough damage to infuriate that area's boss. The boss appears, you take down the boss, rinse and repeat. While it's incredibly fun to just to turn off your brain essentially and run around and shoot and free prisoners and do pretty much everything you've experienced in previous games like Prototype or Infamous from a generation ago, the gameplay does feel a little lacking because it hasn't evolved. It still feels like a Crackdown game that came out a generation ago, right at the beginning of that generation. But that really is a minor flaw for longtime Crackdown fans, as this is pretty much exactly what you would want from a game in the series, even in 2019. But for gamers who have played games that have taken this kind of template and expanded upon it, and have enjoyed those type of games, this might feel like a big step back. The other major flaw for me personally when it comes to Crackdown 3 is the lack of environmental damage. The destructible environments are only relegated to the multiplayer aspect of Crackdown, which is very disappointing because this world in the single player and the solo campaign is just brimming with stuff to blow up, and there are only just throwable objects and just a couple of portable power stations that feature destructible environments. Speaking of the multiplayer, and this is probably the biggest flaw of them all, the multiplayer itself is just bland. It's based around the concept of team deathmatches with only two modes. A capture the flag mode where you essentially shoot enemies and try to get their flags, or they shoot you and try to get your flag, and if you can, try to defend your teammate's flag. until the point score reaches 25. And then you have a capture the territory mode that sees, of course, teams trying to capture a specific territory that does change. That is one of the big pluses when it comes to that mode. And you're trying to defend that spot until you get 250 points to win. It's uninspired. There's no ranking. There's no leveling up. It's just there. Crackdown 3 isn't as bad of a game as people would like to make it out to be. It's just a game that feels pretty outdated. For Crackdown fans, more than likely they will have a blast playing this. This is easily just stupid, ridiculous fun. For people that maybe want more, this is something that might not wet your whistle too well. It's perfect for a Game Pass playthrough. It's perfect for that $10 a month that you put out for Game Pass and get a plethora of games plus this. This is perfect for that. But as a $60 purchase, there's no way I can recommend this at all, really. There's no way I could recommend this for $60. So there you have it. This has been Soulful Lordy. James Bullock, once again, with another video game first impressions. Crackdown 3 for the Xbox One and PC. Now, if you don't mind, I have angered quite a few industrial heads and luminaries and visionaries. So, I'm going to team up with my boy Terry Crews. We will make all of those terrible, money-hungry, dastardly individuals say, "Oh, Lordy!"